call our meeting to order. We have our reports. Secretary's report is
The budget meeting from, the budget
Yeah.
meeting minutes from September.
Yep.
Did you guys have a chance to review them?
Yes.
They were sent over in the board packet.
Yep.
Any changes, questions? They're just from the budget meeting, so it was short and sweet and simple.
Okay, anybody want to make a motion to accept the minutes?
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And let's see, treasurer's report, that I guess will be you too. For now.
We have a lot of house right now.
Would you like a rack to put them on?
I want to get rid of them. So for September, the total assets and liabilities, $23,622.27. There was a year-to-date deficit of $2,261, and that's just due to your arrears. The budget or the income is lower than what it's supposed to be because we do have, those arrear accounts and two large accounts that are in arrears, which has made a deficit in the budget. The grounds maintenance was under budget, $1,513.02. Utilities is under budget, $197, and management administrative is under budget, $2,564. So you can see that you guys aren't spending enough money. You're just not bringing in as much money as we expected you to bring in.
Which hopefully we'll get those done.
Yeah.
All right, your manager report?
Do you want me to just continue? For October, the board packet for the budget meeting was created. The draft minutes from the meeting were completed. Invoices were processed and approved. The financial summary for September was completed. I reviewed the delinquent accounts and made the notes. Property visit completed on 10/30, and the approved budget was processed, and the coupon mailing was prepared. Did you guys receive those yet?
Yes. Yeah, I sent one in there.
Oh, thank you. That's it. So you'll notice I did update at the bottom, I did update the board listing. We don't have any positions there, just do that tonight. And then we need to add one more. So, that was updated on there. Your insurance renewal is coming up. I have already reached out to the insurance agent to get that proposal. I don't expect much of a increase for you guys just because, you don't have property insurance, you guys just have liability. So we shouldn't have too much of an increase. There will be probably a small one because there is for everything, but not much, so. That's about it.
I don't have president's report on there, but I am going to fill you in on a few things. I know I was out there the other day and I saw this guy going around in his cart. He was doing the lake management from Clearwater, and I asked him if he had sprayed or going to spray the swale we talked about the last time, and he said he didn't get the okay yet to do that. But I said, well, it's been approved. We approved it at our meeting. We approved the cost in our budget, blah, blah, blah. And he said he'd go ahead and do it. It's got to be just a communication thing. So he did supposedly go ahead and do it. And what day was it on? I can't remember. But I ended up getting from Rocky. I have the contract all signed and sent. So we did have that too. So that was done. Also, I know we had issues with the lights at the Madeline entrance. My husband went down there. He checked the sensor. And you know how your headlights get all that fog color on it? Well, that's what was happening to the sensor. He replaced it. It seems to be working a little bit better. Also on the Swale's entrance, there's a light that when you replace the bulb, it won't work. There's something in the bottom part, so I bought a new one, and he's going to replace it this week. And so they should be lit. I know they were bulbs that have to be replaced, so we want to go on that. So that's the president's report right now. So, okay. All right. On to the architectural reviews. Let's see. We already approved, I think, these two. We did them over computer. It was 3486, and there got a roof that was leaking on Country Walk, and then the other one on Country Walk was 3465. I know the one on 3486 Country Walk was done. They did do that, so we just need to sign that. I guess I'll just sign this and send it around, and you guys will. Okay.
Do we need to organize before that?
It doesn't matter your positions. I mean, you guys all have the same vote anyway, so.
And the other one was 3465 Country Walk. He really wanted to get his roof done. He did get on the schedule, but it was a day late, so he ended up not getting his roof done yet. But it's been approved. Same thing, we did it online. I spoke with Andrew Spiegel today. That was his wife that came in. And they are in litigation with their insurance company, trying to get.
Why don't you do this as your first one?
Okay.
Okay.
So I said, well, you might want to get your ARVs in just in case the roof passes. I start next week, you don't have to wait. So that's what these are. I don't have, he didn't give me everything else for them. So I think what we need to do is have Tiffany get back to them and say, send us a copy of the color of the roof that you want. So let's see, this one's gonna do windows right frame pending litigation of the insurance. He's got his fence removal and install pending the litigation of the insurance, and I think it's a white fence. He's on Gavison, right on the corner there.
It's a wood fence.
It's a wood
It's
fence.
currently a
Oh,
wood
yeah,
fence.
yes, it is. That's what I meant to say. But that, yeah, so he's waiting for that litigation on that. He's currently pending litigation, ARB full roof replacement, but he doesn't have the color for that. And full backyard, oh, this I don't know if he's gonna call, do the pictures. He's got moles. And he wants to do something for that. He's got a resod, I guess. I've never heard of resodding for moles, but.
No, because they're just gonna dig under, burrow under the ground,
Yeah.
but that doesn't really apply to us, does it? You
Um,
wouldn't need
if
that,
he
because that's just
resods-
treatment
If he resods, I think it does.
in the backyard.
Full backyard, I don't know.
I don't think, that doesn't apply, does it, Tiffany?
Resodding?
No, you don't have to have an Airbnb.
Okay. So he's got the other three. As I said, there's no color for the roof. And the fence, there's no color. Will again submit before finalization. He's gonna submit them before finalization. We'll open, will again finalize once before installation, the windows. So I don't know if we wanna go and conditionally approve these for him, so he, if the roofing guy comes in, he has it, he can do it or not. Could be done until December 24th.
Well, and the thing is they just repainted their home two-tone gray, and I can't see them putting anything outrageously
So
out
they're
of
going-
code
yeah.
on the roof.
I can't either. So, I mean, if we wanna go ahead and approve these,
You could approve it, with the understanding that it's, a basic color. I mean, you guys don't really have a set, shingle color
No.
in your neighborhood, so I mean, as long as he's not trying to be purple and pink,
do you wanna, oh, we don't need the mold one. So sign, wanna sign those and see, pass me Wendy, I'll give you this. You have a copy on those? I need to take a scan of them and give them to me now.
Do you want the originals?
Which ones I have.
I didn't know if you wanted paper, like roughly like
I do like to have the paper, but it's up to you.
paper. You know,
I mean, if you send it to me, email it to me, that's fine too, as long as I have a copy.
I don't want the paper, so.
Well, just because I put it, well, I don't know if I'm gonna have it or not. I have them there, so I see, I can go back and look at it. Instead of pulling out my computer. That's. Then, okay, when you sign the other one?
I didn't fill out the date or anything at the top.
Just put, roof. Oh, there's one, this one, roof, oh. Yeah, and I think he's gonna be 6. I think he's gonna be a little busy, the baby, he's hoping he's gonna come today. Now we can move on to the other ones. I know these are supposed to be 24 hours, but
I guess we could always approve for his thought and just let him know it really wasn't required though.
Go ahead.
That way he has it for his records if
Yeah.
he feels better.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't,
Oh, this, is that the sign? Oh.
Okay.
Oh, this is what you feel now. This. That sign in my life away.
Go ahead.
All right, so unfinished, that goes on to unfinished business, so we need to organize the board. So I guess we need to take nominations, and I guess we work from the top down.
Okay.
Right, anybody have any nominations for president?
I would like to nominate you to stay as president if you would like to.
Second that.
Do you have any nominations for president?
I couldn't hear what you said.
I said I would like her to continue on as president.
Oh,
if
you
she
made
would
a
like the
nomination,
position
it was
here.
seconded, okay, yeah, no nomination.
All right, I'll accept. Everybody, yeah? Okay, we're all good.
Close the nomination.
Huh?
Close the nomination.
Close the nominations.
Well, we have to,
What do you have to do?
Can we vote?
We need other positions.
What, just want to do one at a time, or do,
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
okay, I don't know.
Now it's the, I don't know if secretary treasurer comes next.
I'm just emailing these to mirror myself really quick so I don't forget
Put it in a safe spot, but I'm not gonna look at them, I'm on board. All right, so,
them. How would you do it?
I have none. So we did, how do you normally do it? We
So,
nominated the board.
Yes, so we have all of the positions open. So you have to agree, Linda's gonna be president. All right, so we need at least a secretary and a treasurer. That's what we need. We don't need vice president, we need that, but we have to have a secretary and a treasurer. The secretary really doesn't do much. I mean, it's pretty much the minutes, and I do all of that. All they do is sign the approved minutes. The treasurer, again, we put together your financial summary and all that. In the past, Rocky would go really deep into the financials. I don't have any other boards that do that. So if that's something that you guys want to continue to do, feel free. If not, it's, we give you everything broken down every month. We give you full reconciled financial. Your bank statements are available on the portal, all of that. So again, we do most of that work there too. We pay all your bills, give you all of those reports. So it's not like the president's position has the most work because they have to be the one that we come to. So if we need a decision made, if we have a question, if we have a contact, we go to the president. The other ones are kind of, they are statute driven that we have to have a secretary and a treasurer. But then the other ones are just director positions. So we have to have a secretary and a president, secretary, and a treasurer.
So we have to nominate.
What position are we nominating for?
Let's do secretary first.
What is it?
Secretary.
Secretary.
Do you have a nomination yet?
No, does anybody have a nomination?
Do you have a nomination?
Would you like to continue on as secretary?
We have to appoint our board first.
They have to put me on the board.
Oh, yeah, you
I
guys
thought
should probably
we
do that first.
We can do that first?
Yeah.
All right. So I can just nominate, I nominate Barb to come back on the board to fill in our open position.
Second.
Second. Okay.
Aye.
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 All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Welcome
Barb is our
aboard.
secretary. Thank you, Barb. Thank you. All right. So now we're working on repackaging.
Oh, feel like I'm back in O'Malley's bar playing shuffleboard there. Whoa.
Alright, so now we're into treasurer. Any nominees for treasurer?
Why don't we get our newest person to do that?
I'm going to say no for the first year. I'd really like to just,
So you can.
I
It's
can't
against
say
the
no.
bylaws for the first year.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah.
That's fine, no.
If you wouldn't have laughed, I think I might have convinced you.
No,
but,
you wouldn't. I feel like I should, you know,
Yeah. All right, why don't you stay with it? I nominate Michelle.
Will you accept it? Okay. Alright, I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Barb, what's your last name? I
Well,
don't remember, I knew that.
WELLEN.
I could not remember that.
Alright, so we got that done. We got them all done?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody good? So we're on to the violations and arrears and the NOLAs, so. No to- It's gonna be dandy sheet. There's quite a bit that have the 685, that's, every few months, if you notice, that gets that caught up in that cycle of missed when we pull them up, so that's all that those are. And I asked Tiffany about those NOLA letters, and if you notice, the dates are all older. When Rocky asked the accounting, they put them all on now, but even though they're older, they're gonna be on there. Okay,
I
So-
believe they stay on there until, the account holds a zero, balance.
Can I ask a question really
is
fast?
this, yeah, okay, there's two pages, okay.
Will you resend me everything for, access to get into the banking? Because it's changes now again, because it's a new year, right?
It shouldn't change. But, yeah, I'll make sure you have it, but yeah, it shouldn't change because it was set up for you anyways.
Right, but every so often you have to change the password and all that kind of stuff again
Oh.
too. So I didn't know because it was starting a new year, so to speak, a new
Yeah,
board.
I'll get that information.
Just, yeah. Thank you.
So if you notice, we have, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 notices that went out, but some of them, like the one down at the bottom, 020067, it says they owe $2.18 and they intend to lien went out in June. But it's, Tiffany says they paid it, but they forgot to pay the 218, so it's not really an intent to lien,
Okay.
okay? They took that
Yeah, it won't move forward, it's just that note is gonna stay there until it's at a zero balance.
So there's quite a few of those. And then, we do have the two. Did you get I noticed that one isn't on there, that we had an issue that went to mortgage foreclosure. It's not on there. Do you know what happened to that one? She's not on it.
What's the last name?
No. Hey.
They have paid in full, they have a $6.85.
Really?
Paid in full.
Was that just the,
27.
that was just the, what she owes us now? We're have anything to do with the other part?
Yeah, just what you.
Okay, so that's painful. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right.
Has the first one on the list, have we heard back from them at all?
No, actually, I did get a, email from my accounting firm, I'm gonna look that up really quick because you guys do need to make a decision. in the second one, the intent to liens have, reached their, capacity, so we need to know if you want to move forward with it. And that's what come to.
On the second one, since that one has already, is that one still with the attorney, or is this starting
It's not,
over?
it starts over, because once they pay it off with the attorney, they have to start over. So, because he went down to a 0 balance, it was paid off, and then they stopped paying again, so it got back there. So now we're at the point where we can do a lien again, because he has the intent to lien. And now that that has reached that deadline, that we have to let it go through per state statutes, now we can do the lien if that's what we want. I don't think there's been any treatment on it.
You think yes?
Yes, and, they count the second one down for sure.
And Jim, what do you think? Should we proceed with intent to lien on the first two?
I'm sorry,
Not
Denise.
intent to lien, it would be.
I'm sorry. Should we proceed with the lien on the first two properties?
Yeah, and Maloney. It looks to me like they're getting out of line.
Yeah.
You have to refer like account number.
Yeah,
If we do one, we have to do both.
yeah, it looks to me like either they're not gonna pay or they're in financial trouble. Yeah, I think we should proceed.
Barb, do you have an opinion on that?
Oh, I'm for going after our money.
Okay.
I just have a quick question. This is in regards to the dues, and
They have not
it's-
paid.
they have not paid, and you're saying the second person.
The second
This is
person
the
was,
second go around.
yes, of
Yeah,
a
we
large
had-
amount.
We had a lien on their account before, and the attorney collected everything that was due, but that was back in March, and there hasn't been a payment since then.
Have they communicated nothing? So you've got nothing about them being
They have not
in
reached out, and
hardship
my,
or?
the delinquency department handles all of that,
You
and,
also Airbnbs and Bs, so it makes money on
there's
it.
been no.
And the first one, there's no communication as well.
But the second is a second offender, sorta, and the first one is.
That one is surprising to me because up until this particular point, for the years that they've been in the community, they have always kept their account up to par. It's an older person, so I don't know if something's going on and someone oversees their financials now, but it's grown to a large amount. We don't have any status on that, no communication.
So, and where does it go from here?
It goes to being a lien. This is what we filed the intent to lien, now we lien, so that means we have legal recourse to collect the money.
So
It goes
they'll
to
be
a judge.
notified of it, so they will have to respond at that point. And is there any grace period at all for that?
Well,
Maybe?
the last couple of times what has happened is when just before it goes to court, they come up with money.
These are accounts that have not paid for quite some time, understand?
Right, because this is not being, this is just that there's no fines on this. This is
No.
just what they owe.
I can tell you when their last payment was. Last payment was October of 2022.
Okay, I guess I'm on board with that.
They've received, reminder notices, they've received the notice of late assessment, which is required by state statute, and they've received the intent to lien, which is sent via, certified mail, and, signed for, confirmed, received, and there's been no, communication.
All right, well, then I'm on board with everyone. All right, so we need a motion on this.
Yes.
Can I have a motion?
So made.
Yes. Second,
Yeah, both of us raised our
Okay.
hands, so.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
We will move forward with those two. Thank you very much.
And thank you for the time.
Oh, wait, you gotta come up to speed, we get it. Planning committee update,
I
Bob, you'll be
do
here?
have, one account that's ready for planning committee, but that'll be for the December meeting.
Okay.
Because we obviously didn't meet the deadline for, the 14-day notice, and that is the,
So the property reports are on here, Wendy?
This is all the violations that are open.
I saw one that looked familiar.
And that's the account 010033. Yeah.
Surprised me.
So that one is ready for the finding committee.
And that's for the garage door?
The garage
And the
door
weeds.
and, yep, and the weeds.
Okay.
And that's the only one that I have ready right now.
Yeah, you know, she cleaned the garage out. She cleaned the garage out, you can put it up in here now. I was hoping she was gonna fix the garage door when she had all that stuff there. But she didn't do it. All right, so we're all, the finding committee is still gonna be, the 3 people on there. Yeah, we're good for that, okay? Anything else, anybody else have any questions on the violations? The swale update, don't really have much to say besides that, the guy sprayed it. I haven't done anything with it, I thought I'd let it sit until we asked this on the board. So I think we're done. Like that, guys. New business, anybody have anything else they need to address?
I don't think so.
Business, owners forum?
What do you mean by that?
By new
Oh,
business,
no, by
owners forum?
honest.
If there's people in the audience
Oh,
that they can talk, or you as a homeowner can talk now too?
We have to allot owners that are present 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes to speak on the items on the agenda.
Okay.
We're gonna have a problem with this MetroNet if they are not digging up.
Mhm.
Those people that painted in our yard and put flags, it is not an easement right square in the middle of my front yard. I am not allowing them to dig up my front yard. Orange County, Seminole County, and Osceola County have had problems with them breaking sewer lines and
So they told me
sprinklers.
problems too.
Yeah, and sprinkler lines, and then the homeowner has had to prove to them that they were the ones that were at fault, and these people cannot speak English. And they just said, from what they've done in Orange County and all, they sit there and have their lunch in your yards and leave their trash and things like that. But when they come with shovels and stuff, or whatever it is, to my front yard, right square in the middle of my yard, which is not an easement, they are not gonna dig in my front yard.
What's our, what is the homeowners rate on that?
So who is responsible for doing that? Is it the city?
Well, the city gave MetroNet the contract to bring fiber optics.
I would
US,
definitely contact the city.
US Steel or something, I've
US
got the
something.
flag, I pulled one of the
Utilities.
flags and called this US something. And I talked to the guy and he said legally they had the right to, put these flags in our yards and stuff.
Only
He
if it's
said
on an
it's
easement.
easements. I said, this isn't an easement dead center in the middle of my front
Yeah, you
yard.
need to find your survey.
I did,
Okay, and see, like, map out how far in your easement goes.
I did. And I told this guy on the phone, I said, this is not an easement dead center in the middle of my yard. I said, you're crazy.
Right.
And he said, we have the legal right to dig there. I said, Nick, you're not digging here. I'll call the police.
I know that they left a mess for some of the neighbors down in, over in South Daytona. So I don't know what our recourse is, and that, you know, I want the same sod put in my yard that's there now. If they dig it up, I want to replace it, the same thing. But I have one by my light pole, they put one. So I don't know. And they
I
said
would-
it was gonna start this week, I think.
I would definitely reach out to the city and find out who the project coordinator is there, and talk to them about your survey to make sure that, you know, they're not encroaching on your property and just not an easement.
Well, Don is the mayor of Port Orange, and I asked him. And he says, oh yeah, they've been having problems with MetroNet all over.
Let's move forward with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they're just digging where the flags are?
that's what they say. That's where the utilities are. But they're not gonna dig in the middle of my front yard. I got
They can
news for them.
trench. They can do a trench, I believe. They can
Because I mean,
do
they
trenches
sprayed
too.
in my
In the
driveway.
easements, but
In
they
the
can't.
middle
Well,
of
under
the
the driveway, they wouldn't tear the driveway up there to go underneath that.
On our cul-de-sacs, down toward our end, I've noticed that there's different color markings, but there's no flags, so.
Right, yeah.
Well, they painted in the middle of my yard and they put flags in the middle of my yard, right square in the middle.
My understanding where the flags are is where they do intend to dig.
Well, they're not digging in my front yard. I'll take
What's the
them to
paint
court.
for? Does anybody know?
They're marking where the lines and
Right,
Fiber optics.
So that's not where they're digging.
Yeah, that is.
that is, but
There's
they're not
painting
digging
where
in my
they're digging?
front.
where there is a flag.
Just the
Go ahead.
flag.
Go ahead, Erin.
First, I'm gonna turn sprinklers on them, and then I'm gonna call the police,
Go ahead,
if they're
Erin.
there.
Usually, to my knowledge, the company that comes out is just a survey marking company. The different colors indicate different types of underground utility lines. Red would be for electrical, orange, I'm not sure if it's cable or something like that. It's not I don't think it necessarily means where they're going to dig. It's just marking out what utility
Yeah.
lines are there. I'm also surprised because they're on my yard also, they marked out across the yard that there's power lines down there. I'm surprised that would be actually down there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they marked them off wrong or what.
I think they marked my lamp post.
Right.
Well,
Because there's
see,
power there.
the thing is with the lamppost, I've got the same thing, and I can see, if I look down the street, I can see the markings across my yard, which lead to my lamppost, and then if I keep looking down the
Yeah, it goes to
street, I can
everybody.
see the markings across my neighbor's yard, which lead to lampposts and so on and so forth. But it's impossible for a power line to be running parallel to the sidewalk, going from lamppost to lamppost,
Yeah,
because the power is coming from my meter, from my house.
yeah.
So the line would have to be coming from my house out to the lamppost, which it actually does. I'm not sure what they marked on the front lines.
No.
Yeah, and ours are blue and green in our area.
Let's see, we got red.
Mine are dark red and then those orange flags, which I went in my yard and pulled every one of them up because they're not digging in my yard. I've made up my mind.
Yeah.
I will go take them
What,
to court.
What
It's
does the
my
HOA
private
have
property.
to do with this? Can they,
No,
we
because
can't
the
do
city
anything
owns the
city
streets.
does. So, but we can't,
Except our cul-de-sacs.
right,
But if the city is true, but they own technically they don't own the easement, but they have rights of easement. So,
but do we have any say on how they leave our neighborhood?
but it's not your neighborhood that they're leaving, it's personal properties.
Okay,
So it would be up to the homeowners.
Well, the parkage belongs to Port Orange.
Yeah.
That I understand, but my yard belongs
Yeah.
to me.
Right.
so then you have to bring that up with the city. is what
I'm
you're saying.
bringing it up. I'll go get a court order if I have to. They are not gonna dig in my front yard.
Yep.
I'm not getting MetroNet. I don't want MetroNet. They're no cheaper than Spectrum.
No,
It's
they're actually more
$75 a month. I don't want it. I don't, they're
So
not coming
then-
in there.
Talk to you, if your neighbors say anything, if they're gonna have an issue with it, then it's their property, they have to talk to the city and take it up with the city and MetroNet, okay?
Okay. The proper department would probably be community development.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay. I need a second,
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're done.